welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the steps and the process of writing a song. And I'll talk about my process a little bit, but I will say I don't think that there's one step-by-step process to making a song. There's so many different ways that you can go about forming a song, but this is kind of a breakdown of some of the ways that you can approach writing a song, especially if it's something that you've never done before, hasn't come naturally, but something you're interested in doing. First thing, for me when I'm writing a song, I just like to handwrite things. Handwriting something makes it feel more personal to me. I've handwritten everything my whole life because it just makes it feel tangible to me. Things stay in my brain better when I've handwritten them. So this is crazy, but high school essays, everything I wrote by hand first. That's part of my process. You don't have to do that, but I like to have a journal for all of my songs. That way I can go back to the same place. But I will say my notes app is full of lyric ideas. If I don't have my journal with me, I'm going straight to the notes app. So, okay, but let's jump into the actual content of this video. So step one is finding your inspiration. What are you going to be writing your song about? And inspiration can come from anywhere, maybe even just a feeling that you want to express. Not even a specific event in your life. There are a lot of songs that I wrote. I had never had a boyfriend before, and I was writing all these breakup songs in high school, and my family was so confused. But it was because I understood the feeling of sadness, rejection, all of these different things, and so I wanted to express that feeling, so I expressed it through a breakup song. And so I think there's a lot of different ways that you can write about a thing without writing about exactly that thing, if that makes sense. Inspiration can be a melody that comes to you, maybe that's what comes to you first, or this one line, or a place. There's so many different ways you can find inspiration. Okay, next is the structure of the song. Most modern radio hits are going to be verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, with a pre-chorus most of the time thrown in there. And so this is a good structure to follow when you're writing, especially when you're first starting to write. And then you're welcome to break out of that. There are great songs that have broken out of that mold. It's the same thing I learned in all of my art classes. You learn all these rules so that you can break them, but break them well. If you approach a song, maybe your first time going for it with no structure whatsoever, it's probably going to be a lot harder to follow and a lot harder to find a hook or something that's going to keep people coming back to it and singing it. So following a structure at first is probably the best way to go about it, but you might have a killer idea without a structure. So there's really no rules to how you write. And also, I never know which part of the song I'm going to write first. Sometimes the hook will come to me first, sometimes, a little bit of the bridge. My most recent single, You Said, that came out, I thought the bridge was going to be the first verse, and then I was like, nope, this is going to be the bridge, and it got moved around. So these things happen. So now you've got the structure of your song, now you need some lyrics. The biggest piece of advice I've heard from big-time songwriters when it comes to writing lyrics is to use details to say something without outright saying it. For example, instead of saying she was sad, say something like, the storm in her eyes cast a shadow on her face. That was something stupid, but without saying she was sad, you'll get the idea that she's sad. Yeah, so a good way to do this is through using a lot of metaphors and imagery and things like that. Say something through details rather than just saying it. And the next thing you're going to want is a melody for the song. Oftentimes I find myself doing lyrics and melody kind of at the same time. So it's not really a step-by-step thing in that case. You can do melody then lyrics, you can do them together. It just depends, but you're going to need a lyrics and a melody. So I like to play around with a lot of different chord progressions. And something cool that we did for my song Anne Boleyn that's out, originally I was playing C, E minor, A minor, F throughout the whole song, which it still plays throughout the chorus, but we changed the verses. I kept the same melody I was singing, and we made it A minor, E minor, F, C, to give it just a little bit more of a dark vibe there and kind of change things up. So yeah, mess around with different chord progressions and things like that. Another piece of advice I've gotten for the melody, because I had a song where the chorus was basically doing the same thing over and over again, and it sounded exactly the same as the hook. It was my song If You're Ever in Austin. And I was advised to kind of change it up throughout the chorus, that way the hook kind of stood out a little bit more. So originally it was, but if you're ever in Austin, think of me for a moment. And that was just getting a little too repetitive, so I changed it to, if you're ever in Austin, think of me for a moment. That way I didn't repeat it too much. Yeah, it's really all about finding a melody that complements what you're singing about. Although I've done something to kind of make a song more nuanced with Cracks in My Windshield. I sometimes I just love it when a song has a really upbeat sound and fun melody, but then just depressing lyrics. I think that's kind of fun to do sometimes too. So it's really just whatever you're going for. If you're going for like a sarcastic kind of sad song with gut-wrenching lyrics but an upbeat track, that's fun too. So again, you learn the rules to break them. It's the same thing with any art form, honestly. And that pretty much concludes the video. I hope that you found this helpful and enjoy jumping into writing your very own song. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this content. I post a lot of vocal coaching videos as well, and covers and original songs of my own. So yeah, feel free to subscribe if you are interested in more content like this. Alright, I'll see you next time. Bye!